So, welcome to the official TechBBQ podcast of 2025. It's a pleasure having you here, and we have invited you and your colleague here to learn more about the Indian tech scene and the India startup scene, and maybe you can fill us in about the schemes and the funding you're providing and the engagement in the relationship between the European startup scene and the Indian startup scene that you are here to foster as well. But before we dive into that 100%, let's wind a bit back and talk a bit about yourself, your background in the business industry, in the finance industry, in the tech startup scene, and we will move into the organization that you are here representing today and the areas that you're working with. So let us talk a bit about your own personal background moving into this organization, maybe.
Thank you so much, and it's my pleasure to be here. And thanks to you once again for giving this opportunity to be on this podcast. I am Satyaprakash Singh. I am Chief General Manager in Small Industries Development Bank of India. This is a Government of India organization and the apex institution in India for promoting financing and development of micro, small, and medium enterprises. One of the key areas where SIDBI has been very active is promoting the startup ecosystem in the country and the funding of the same. We are the first Government of India institution which took initiative way back in mid-90s in promoting the startup ecosystem in the country. And we moved in a phased manner over a period of time. Initially, we started within organization as a vertical to look after the startup funding when the concept itself was very nascent. Then in subsequent years, we promoted our own venture capital company, which I headed for 3 years as a managing director and chief executive officer of that company. And then subsequently, we facilitated promotion of regional venture capital funds in India to promote startups in various states. As you must be knowing, India is a large country. We are having 1.4 billion population with almost 30 plus states. So we worked with very closely with various state governments to develop such infrastructure in the states so that the startups could be suitably supported. And finally, in 2016, Government of India launched the Fund of Funds for Startups. That was a visionary program by Honorable Prime Minister of India, who took a keen interest. And thanks to DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce, Government of India, that they gave this opportunity to SIDBI to manage that fund for startups. It's a around $1.25 billion fund. That's the single largest sovereign fund in the country. And for the first time, this kind of initiative was taken by Government of India. And in past almost 8 to 9 years, we have fully committed this entire capital to the Indian startup ecosystem. Mm-hmm. This is a fund established by Government of India, where we are working as a mother fund and we are promoting the daughter funds, who in turn invest into the viable startups in the country. So a bit about the startup ecosystem in the country. If you see, I would like to divide the Indian startup journey into two phases. The first phase of Indian startups were mainly towards the ease of life. Easing of life was mostly driven by promotion of e-commerce based startups, fintech. These kind of startups came up, which have made deep inroads and brought a lot of change in the Indian ecosystem. Now, with that first phase is almost over because India has achieved a substantial growth in terms of digital public infrastructure which government has created, and that is suitably supported by the private sector as well. So put together, India has achieved a very, very significant level of digitalization in every walk of life. I mean, even if you are having a cup of tea on a vendor shop, you can make payment digitally. So no cash transaction. So there is a transformation in India which has taken place, and simply because of the Government of India policies and the programs which have been launched. Now, the second phase has started where India is now looking forward to emerge as a deep tech hub. And the government of India has again dedicated a huge public capital. Almost 1 trillion rupees capital has been dedicated to the research, development, and innovation. Besides, Government of India has also dedicated another 10,000 crore rupees for the deep tech sector itself to be promoted, though sector agnostic startups would also be facilitated. The deep tech areas where we are looking forward and where there is a substantial development which is taking place in India is basically space tech, health tech, defense. I mean, massive work is going on. This what we call as the this chip manufacturing and I mean all these areas are emerging very fast in India. And what I personally feel is the kind of public capital which is flowing, the kind of public policy which is supporting this segment, and the global players, the way they are looking towards India. In next 5-year period, India will be at a different platform. Obviously, the technological reliance which is there would be substantially met with the domestic development and the domestic research which is taking place. And India would be emerging as one of the very key player in the global market in the technology sector as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we are standing as of now.
Awesome development of the country, awesome development of the technological scene in India, huge development in the next few years, huge middle class development in India as well, that is allowing the technology to really seep into every household of India as well. So can you speak a bit, can we maybe talk a bit about the organization you are representing, about the relationship you are here to foster today, this weekend, and how you are trying to enable the corporate and startup scene relationships between the European tech scene and the Indian tech scene?
A very good question. In fact, what I'm the as I explained that we are the single largest LP in the country in India. And thanks to Government of India and DPIIT for posing this trust in us. I was particularly here from 2-3 angles. One, day before yesterday, I attended the European LP forum, where I wanted to understand that how the LPs working in Europe are looking forward to funding options and what synergy can be generated between India and European LPs. One of the key thing which I observed is that SIDBI being the apex institution and the single largest LP, we have a very robust mechanism for due diligence of the fund managers and their theme thesis, their background and everything. So European LPs can collaborate with SIDBI to their investment which they are looking forward to make in Indian funds. That is the first area where I'm looking forward for a very great synergy. And in fact, it was a pleasure to be part of that forum. I heard many, though I didn't speak there because I was not given an opportunity, but definitely I heard. And it was a very good synergy, which I'm looking forward, which I shall be exploring after going back to India. The second aspect, which I said that DPIIT, which is the nodal ministry in India for promotion of startups, they have come along with a delegation where there are 10 startups who are participating from India to this particular TechBBQ event. And particularly these Nordic countries, if I see, they are very strong in terms of the clean energy, green energy, recycling industry, water management, health tech. So this is one challenge which India is facing because of the massive population which is there in India. And because as a growing economy, the challenges everywhere comes. Urbanization is taking very fast in India. And the urban infrastructure has not moved in the same proportion, though it is moving very fast. So we are looking forward that how these Nordic startups who are dealing with such type of technologies, they can collaborate with the Indian startups and address these challenges which India is facing and where we are looking very positively towards Nordic countries. And the third important aspect which I would like to highlight is that the kind of geopolitics which is taking place all around the world. India is a very reliable partner. whether as a technology partner or as a talent partner, partner or as a supply chain partner, we are a very reliable partner. So Europe can now think, and particularly Nordic countries, to see towards India in a different angle. Not only that, the India as a market, but they can see that India as a partner in their technological journey. India can be a good partner in terms of supplying the talent which you are looking forward, and jointly we can work together to generate more value for the globe, not only for our, but for the entire world good. We can work together. So these are the areas where I'm seeing a very good synergy where we can work together.
Awesome. So you're really here to try and foster the connections between these clean energies, the renewable energies, green energies, the synergies we have in the Nordic countries. How do we adapt this technology, this knowledge back to India, but also try and make the connections? Maybe we have some talents needs, more cooperation between our ends of the world, and really foster the image of India being the reliable partner that have the population and the resources to fix the gaps really we have in the Western world of talent, of resources, of production facilities. India can be the reliable partner in these needs for Nordic countries, European countries, and any tech startup, any kind of startup production, whatever. India is ready to be a part of this journey as well.
Yes, yes. In fact, if you see that we are very closely working with several Nordic countries, and they have invested. SIDBI has co-invested along with them. Rather, I will say the Nordic investors have co-invested with SIDBI in some of the areas where, the solar sector, huge investment has taken place even from Denmark. There are financial inclusion space where we are co-investors in the same company, and the company is doing so well. And the third area where we are looking forward is that the right now India is looking forward to work more on the manufacturing side. And that is one area where we have seen that the European companies over a period of time has been very good in terms of the technological innovation and the designing. So that's where India would like to have a collaboration. We have talent. The only thing is that if we combine these two things together, we can be a great force to reckon with.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining the TechBBQ 2025 podcast. It was a pleasure having you. I hope you have a great time here.
Thank you so much, and it was my pleasure to be for this podcast. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.